What is going on, my beautiful people? My name is Nia Bankhead, and I'm here to talk about dating in your early 20s and how to avoid the elephant graveyard, because it's a scary place. It's a scary place out there if you don't have a guide. So I want to be able to be either the big sister, the aunt, the mother, or the best friend that you feel like you don't have in your real life to actually speak about things of the sort. So this video is geared towards heterosexual females who are at preteen age all the way to the early 20s. I just want you to be able to avoid as much of a negative dating experience as possible, because sis, okay? At my big age, I am very much so strict now. I'm very strict, but I'd rather be strict than played with. Before I get into the tips and advice, I just want to say that at this fresh, early age that you are, your hormones are all over the place, okay? And it's natural. That is absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. Your body is changing, and you need to talk about it. You need to express yourself so that you don't make rash decisions based on peer pressure, based on your crush, or based on whatever other wacky reason as to why you would jump into something that you're not necessarily ready for. What I mean is just respect yourself above all else. Respect yourself. And if someone comes along and they feel as though that they're not upholding the same standards that you have for yourself, then that's probably not the best situation to engage in. You need to really hone in on who you are and what you need for yourself. Really tend to your needs and really ask yourself if you're ready for certain situations. And if you're on the fence about it, then the obvious answer is no, okay? And it's okay to say no. And it's also okay to say yes. But before you say yes, make sure that the person that you are engaging with and spending your time with respects you just as much as you respect yourself. And if there ever comes a time where it seems like a gray area, or you don't really know if they respect you to the standard that you respect yourself, then you let it go. You don't need to be around that person, because there's nobody out there that genuinely appreciates you and likes you who's going to put you in a weird situation, in an uncomfortable situation, okay? They want you to be as happy and as pleasant as you possibly can be. And that's just what it is. And that has nothing to do with age. A lot of people want to say that, well, people don't mature until a certain age. And that's just not the case. It's based on how you were raised, your intentions, and the type of person that you are. I just wanted to touch base on that fairly quickly before we got into the real video. So my first tip when you're first starting to date someone is to have standards. Have your standards, but do not have expectations. And what I mean by that is, like we were talking about, having so much respect for yourself. You need to uphold that, and you need to show that to them. And an example of that, personally for me, what I do is when I'm on a date with someone, I use a firm tone when I'm speaking. So if they're talking about something serious, they ask me a question, I make sure that my tone is very firm, that they understand that I mean business and I'm not here to play. Like, there's no reason why you should be trying to see how you can treat me based on how I treat myself. Above all else, you should want to respect me just because I'm a human being. The person that you are dating is either going to meet you where you are, or they're going to fold like a lawn chair. Okay? So it's very telling when I put on that tone and I present that side of myself to people. A lot of times I'll be able to tell if I can keep this person around, or they're just trying to see how far they can get with me. So present yourself in a very respectful and, I would say, like boss-like manner, if that makes sense. Standards also meaning that it's respectful to ask you out on a date at what's considered a respectful time. We constantly get these "what you doing" texts at these weird times of night. Like, what do you mean, what am I doing? I'm in the bed. I'm about to go to sleep. I'm not necessarily sure what you're inquiring, but wherever this is leading, you're gonna end up alone with a bottle of lotion. So have your standards. Men in general understand what is considered a respectful time. A lot of times there are some men who will try you, and there are some men who just genuinely want to have a conversation. But that percentage is very small. So standards with just communication in general, how people speak to you, their body language when they're speaking to you. Are they facing you? Are they even making direct eye contact? With body language, there are going to be times where men are nervous, but you don't necessarily want someone who is nervous. They have to be able to work through those nerves and to show you that they can respect you and that they can treat you how you know you deserve to be treated. A lot of times there are men who will tell me that I'm very intimidating, and I'm not sure why, because a lot of people that know me, they know me to be very fun-loving, a humorous person, and I'm very optimistic. But I present myself in a manner, when I first meet you, I need you to know I'm not to be played with. Like, I'm not here for any type of games. A lot of men sense that, so a lot of them don't try, and I'm happy that they don't, because you're not the man for me then. At the end of the day, I hold myself to my standards and the respect level that I have for myself, and that reflects in my aura. And a lot of times that's gonna help you put a barrier in between the men that you don't need in your life, in between the men that are just there to try to see if you're a good time. That's not what you're there for, sis. It's pretty generalized what a standard is. A lot of us understand what it means to contact you at a respectful time, to ask you out, or to see you at a respectful time. And this is all at the beginning stages of dating, because I understand, of course, when you're in a relationship with someone, okay, you're gonna probably spend the night with them, you're gonna see them at different times of the night. Completely fine. I'm talking about early stages of dating and what to expect. Now, with the expectations, I mean as far as being superficial, okay? Just because you saw a girl get 50 roses on Instagram does not mean that you should expect that man to show up with 50 roses. You're setting yourself up and the man up to fail. And when you set your standards, you're also setting your expectations. They pretty much go hand in hand. Another tip is to find out if he respects women. Now, there's gonna be a time where you're having a conversation and it could lead to, you know, maybe a topic about women, or, you know, how women struggle in society, or anything of the sort. Ask questions that will help you understand if he respects women or not. And something that I use often is if we get on the subject of children. I'll ask him, like, do you have any kids? Do you want to have children? But make sure it's not in a manner where you're trying to make it seem as though you're trying to plan y'all's future right then and there. Nobody wants that, okay? Not even if it was vice versa. If a man was like, so do you want children? Do you want to get married? I'd be like, okay, listen, I just met you, okay? So find out if he wants kids. And if he says anything like, you know, I don't want any daughters, do not see that man again, because he obviously does not respect the female species in general. A lot of men do not want daughters because they're afraid of their daughters being fast, or as if you can't bring your daughter up to not fall for the bullshit that men give them. It's really not hard to teach a girl the game, but a lot of men, they're just afraid of their daughters getting penetrated, not realizing that boys get penetrated as well. Next topic. And also, if you get on the topic of speaking about women and something that bothers you that women have to go through on a day-to-day basis, this is a very good time to see if he actually has compassion, if he really cares for what women are going through. He's gonna stop what he's doing, he's gonna look at you, and he's gonna pay attention, and he's gonna add to it. Or if he doesn't know anything about it, he's gonna ask questions. There are some men who will just try to disregard the subject at hand, and that's a red flag as well, because anybody who is genuinely interested is going to listen when you actually care about something. And with that being said, when a man is really paying attention to what you have to say, and you know, his body language is very respectful, and he's giving you eye contact, asking questions, that goes with gestures. That goes with my other tips. Pay attention to gestures. There have been times where I've been on a first date with men and they will walk ahead of me like at a disrespectful distance. Why are you walking without me? So you know what I do? I'm a little petty when things like this happen. What I do is I slow down so I can let someone else see me, because obviously you don't want to be seen with me. So that's what I do. A man is either going to walk behind you or he's going to walk beside you. Any man that I've been with, or I've seen men out with their wives walking ahead of them, they'll turn around and say something that's like they're just irritated about something, or they say something disrespectful, and it's disgusting to me. Like, why are you walking ahead of me? This is throwing off any potential chemistry that we could potentially have. And that doesn't just go for men, that goes for women as well. Like, I don't believe that you should leave your partner at a disrespectful distance. Is this not a union? Like, what are we doing here? Another tip, find out if he respects your boundaries. A lot of men are going to try you on the first date, maybe not verbally, but physically. And they can be very subtle. To give an example, I was on a date and he was inching closer to me. We were ordering food and I was still trying to finish my order. He was inching towards me as much as he possibly could, to the point where his hand accidentally grazed my ass. Like, okay, sir, you're not slick, because what was wrong with where you were standing to begin with? Nothing like that happens on accident. You got closer to me to the point where you accidentally hit my ass. Like, come on, bro. And the man who actually respected my boundaries to begin with, he would have understood, like, let me stand over here, let me make sure I don't do that. A lot of times I know we're going to be blinded because we actually like the person, but again, you have to respect yourself and respect your standards above all else. And that's what's going to get you a positive dating experience. It's going to get you what you want out of a partner. Don't let these men try you. Don't do it, sis. Do not provide wife qualities. Don't do it. And this also goes for men as well. Don't provide husband qualities as well. But speaking to my young females here, what you don't want to do is you don't want to go on a couple of dates, a couple of basic dates. Y'all don't really talk about anything. You don't really gain an understanding of who the other person is. And the next thing you know, you're cooking meals and they're eating your food 3 times out of the week. No dating is happening anymore. It's just what happens. He comes over, he eats, or you go over there, you cook. It's a situation where it's not fair. A lot of men, they'll take it as, I mean, that's not really my girlfriend, but I mean, she cook for a nigga every now and then, you know what I'm saying? Men will do that. Just like there are women who are out there who dub a man as her food bae, her rent bae. Don't be that person for that nigga. Don't let him label you as, oh, well, she gonna cook, she gonna feed a nigga. If I'm hungry, I'm gonna hit her up, she gonna feed me. I mean, unless you're cool with that and that's what you want to do and you're 100% okay, then by all means. But if you're looking for something a bit more intimate, then don't provide wife qualities too soon. Don't do that. Don't be washing his clothes. Do not give him any money. I have had countless men ask me for money. Why are you, what? I am not your mother. Absolutely not. What I can respect about a man is how he can figure out how he can make some money that he needs. If you have to go out and cut some grass, I will respect you before you ask me for some money. Go ask your homeboys, okay? Go ask your family members, okay? Now, I'm not saying that you can absolutely not loan a man any money when he's in a bind and he really needs it, but it's very telling when you're first getting to know someone and automatically they're asking you for some money. What makes you think I have it? What makes you think I will give it to you? Why are you asking me this at the beginning stages of us dating? Get away from me. Since we're speaking about money, I want to touch base again on superficiality. And I know in this day and age, we're spending money like we're drinking water. I don't want us to get so wrapped up in the dollar amount that we forget what humanity really is. And with that being said, you don't want a man who's all about money. I stopped dating men who said that they chase money, because that does nothing for me. Because what I noticed is that men who chase money are men who make a substantial amount of money, or who only want to just figure out ways to make money. They want a trophy wife. They want a sexual object locked away in a closet. They do not want a woman. The only time they want women is when they've built their empire or their foundation with a particular woman. And even then, most times when they get to a certain place, they feel as though that they deserve to cheat on their wives that have been holding them down for years, for decades. It's a little scary. It feels as though it goes hand in hand. Like, men get to a certain point in their lives and their women will change. And what I mean by their women is they could go from someone who is dark skinned to someone who is a fair shade, or someone who is of a different ethnicity, or they feel as though that they deserve to have multiple women and that it's okay to accept that. And it's not okay. It's not okay to deceive people. So I don't want us wrapped too much in the dollar amount. And like I said, I know it's peer pressure to get money and to, floss a little bit. It's not all about that. So don't be so wrapped up in the man that can give you a couple dollars, take you to the best restaurants, floss you in the nicest clubs. Like, none of that really means anything at the end of the day, because men like that have something to prove. And a lot of times men who are only worried about their exterior, they don't have anything internally to provide you. So it's very rare when you can meet someone who can do both. Men who understand what they have to offer spiritually and emotionally, they could have the finest things on, but they won't think anything of it. Those are the type of men that I like. I like the type of men who know that they deserve nicer things in life, but they know that it's not what makes them. It's very hard to find those types of men. And some of those men might not even like women, so it's a lose-lose situation, sis. Lose-lose. No, but I want to date someone who can create something out of nothing. If a man takes time out of his day to put some food in a basket and ask you to eat it on a blanket laid in a park, we don't call them picnics anymore because we know the history behind picnics. But if he asks you to come out and just enjoy the weather and some conversation, then he can give you an experience. He's going to give you conversation. He's going to give you attention. Something that you can't get from these nowhere niggas who is out here Forex trading. Like, that's no shade on Forex traders, but a lot of y'all. Anyways, and the very last thing that I want to touch base on is forgiving yourself. I found myself not forgiving myself with certain situations that I've been put through. It's almost as if I blamed myself for things out of my control. It's like, oh, you knew you shouldn't have dated him. You knew you should have stuck to yourself. You knew you should have blah, blah, blah. You knew you should have. You knew you should have. It's completely okay. You're going to experience things, and it's not a reflection on who you are or what you deserve. It's just, you have to really pay attention to what people show you and what you're asking of them. Me personally, all I genuinely ask for is honesty. But forgive yourself. You have to be able to do that in order to create a space for a new relationship to come when it is time for it to come. Because you don't want to be carrying baggage to the next potential man that, does have the potential to treat you how you want to be treated. Don't get in your own way. Don't be Erykah Badu's bag lady, okay? Don't do that. Do not do that. Forgive yourself. You have to give yourself time to understand what happened. You have to look at the experience from both perspectives as transparent as possible. Okay? You cannot be one-sided. And I know a lot of times we want to be one-sided and we want to be right all of the time, but we are not right all of the time. Okay? So you know what? Okay. this happened, but it is not a reflection on who you are or what you deserve. So take care of yourself, baby girl. That's all I'm saying. That is all I am saying. Don't be out here abusing yourself in all aspects, in whichever way you want to take that. Don't be out here abusing yourself for the sake of a man to just even smile at you. Don't do that. Be true to who you are. Dress how you want to dress. Say what you want to say, and say it with authority. Don't shrink yourself down, and there's no such thing as being too bold. You definitely have a space on this planet. Okay? Thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. My name is Nia Bankhead, and no, I am not from Georgia. Yes, that is my real government name. Hopefully you gained something from this video, and if not, hopefully the next video provides something that you need. So yeah, thank y'all so much for watching this video, and I will be back. Until next time.